Okay, am I audible? Hello. Am I audible now? Okay, good. So, good morning, and it's a bright Monday morning with a little bit of hiccups. Good to have them. Um I have a great pleasure in welcoming Dr. Sanjeev Varshney, who is the head of the International Scientific Cooperation Office at the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. Sanjeev is a geologist by education as well as training, alma mater of the Aligarh Muslim University. Sanjeev has finished his master's degree in geology in 1984, and then he finished his uh, junior research fellowship and lecturership. He was qualified. He pursued his research at the University of Delhi during 1985 to 1990. He specifically worked on Himalayan river systems, sedimentation, diagnostic, and tectonic modifications. He was also awarded with Dr. D.N. Wadia Research Fellowship, which is a prestigious fellowship in Himalayan geology. He was conferred with Doctor of Science from the Amity University in Rajasthan. He worked then briefly with the geological. He was a fellow of the Geological Society of India, Bangalore, Nepal Geological Society, and member of the International Association of Sedimentologists based in Oxford. But more interesting to all of us is that he is a science administrator and a science diplomat in a sense. He is currently the head for international scientific cooperation at Department of Science and Technology. In his role, he is also the co-chair of the governing body of binational Indo-German S&T Cooperation or Science and Technology Center, as well as the binational US-India Science and Technology Endowment Fund. And he is also the board of director of the private limited company Global Innovation and Technology Alliance, and he is also the member of the governing board of the USUFI, the US-India Education Foundation, and member of the board of research of studies at Aligarh Muslim University, amongst other laureates to his credit. So it's very interesting. As a scientific researcher, we all require funds, and he's a man who knows how to get the fund, build the endowment funds, and also to administer the scientific grants. So this is going to be a exciting moment. We welcome you here to IISER Berhampur, and as a token of appreciation for your stay and a long journey, may I request Director Professor Ashok Kumar Ganguly to present a memento to Sanjeev. Okay, and with that, the floor is yours.
Namaskar to everyone. Hope Monday morning blues are not there, though Vishwas mentioned about some hiccups. But Monday is a source of So Monday is a source of great energy which carries you forward for the week, and I hope my this brief interaction with you, familiarizing you what we do in DST, would help you giving some more vibrancy. So friends, today I'll tell you what is DST. Many a time there is a feeling that DST is a funding organization, which it is. But beyond that, what do we do? I think it is time you should know. And if you could feel involvement in any of them, that would be fantastic. Then I will tell you what DST offers to you as an individual researcher, which is primarily fellowship projects. And then as an institution, what do we offer? So we offer program like research infrastructure grants. So you can get people from other part of the world to come and work here. So those are the things. Now both these options are open. We are not expecting faculty to do research in a given direction. You are free as a free researcher. You have your own option where you would like to work, and you choose your own research area, theme, you take a decision. But then there are programs where government would like you to work. And these are all these three categories of programs for individual, for institution, and what I am calling targeted programs, which are meant. I must say all of them are researchers, are competitive. So it's not that you submitted a proposal and you will get it. Competition is the key, and you need to prove where do you stand. And I'll come later part of my day, what do our referees see in a proposal and how you can find yourself more relevant for that purpose. And then I will tell you about some other opportunities which DST is offering. And then in the last, I'll tell you something about what is our long-term vision. I think I need not to explain this slide to the audience here. I think all of you are familiar with the department, various central government scientific departments which promote science in their own way. However, all departments except DST are quite thematic, and they are highly focused. Biotechnology works in biotechnology, atomic energy works in atomic energy, space works in space, earth science works in earth science. They are highly focused. Department of Science and Technology, as the name indicates, is quite generic, and we work in all sciences. We work in interdisciplinary sciences. We work in newer sciences, and that is why DST is often called mother department. And we have given birth to several scientific departments, including biotechnology, environment and forest, earth sciences, electronics, new and renewable energy sources. They were once part of DST. Now they have grown up and they have their own. Now, what do we do in the department? First of all, being the core department, arm of the government, we are responsible for science and technology in the country. We promote, make the policy, how the science would look like, how the technology would look like. So right now, for example, our people are working, what would be the technology vision of India in 2047 when we celebrate 100 years of our independence? What would be the requirement of the country at that time? So we are trying to map that. It would come back. We are also working on new science and technology policy, science, technology and innovation policy. I'll briefly touch upon a little later. So policy aspect, we are responsible. Similarly, in the parliament, we are responsible to answer questions pertaining to science. As I said earlier, we are working on multidisciplinary, interinstitutional things. We are providing support for basic and applied sciences, support for infrastructure, much as we care for science, we are responsible to take care of technology also. So what happens beyond laboratory? How the results proven in the lab scale are upscaled, taken to the market. That is also part of DST. So we are into technology development and commercial. We have our own scientific institution. We are supporting all science academy in this country. So that is something. And then with other countries. We are working at how science and technology could be of relevance to society directly. So what are the things we can do for our society? We are into science and technology based entrepreneurship. So we are creating a lot of science parks. We are promoting incubation across. We are also into science popularization. This is a major program which we have undertaken in recent past and which is very, very much required. You know, the lingo of science is so difficult that if two gentlemen are sitting, one is biologist, one is earth scientist, they can't talk to each other for a long because lingo is very complex and only their own community understands. Even the abbreviation would get a different meaning in different subjects. And who supports science? The taxpayer. And they don't understand. So one of the argument I have been giving that our taxpayers or our common people also, they talk about politics, they talk about sports, they talk about Bollywood, they talk about economy sometimes, even though they are not directly participating. But nobody talks about development. Nobody talks about science. So science popularization is very important. And then we are working with states. So this is something very challenging because each state has got science and technology department or science and technology council, which is loosely connected with us. Primarily, they are reporting to the state government where they are and they take directions from the state government. But we provide some central themes. What are the challenges which are coming to our notice in your area where you could work upon, and also we ask them that what could be the central scheme which they may implement in their state. We are doing a lot of scientific surveys. So I'm not sure if you are familiar. Indian maps. It's written that as contours taken as per Survey of India. Survey of India belongs to DST. So each map which you see has indirect participation of DST. Or there are so many other things which our organizations are doing. And then we are also doing MIS, which means primarily we take count of the numbers. How many graduates are produced in a particular discipline. How many postgraduates, how many researchers, how many institutions in government sector, how many institutions in private sector, how many industry are engaged in research. But of course, our domain remain restricted to STEM area. So we are keeping a count on all these things and we are producing surveys very often. Now, if we are talking about the new policy which we are working upon, so there are some things which I would like to share with you. 4 things. One is enhancing quality and doing relevant research. I hope you are aware India is number 3 in terms of scientific publication as per NSF data and number 5 as per Scopus. But our research citation, impact of our research is not there. And that is something we need to work on. Similarly, when we are doing applied research, we need to be more specific to our problem. Nobody else will come to solve our problem. Our researchers must find solution to the problem being faced by us. So this is something what we have taken in the in policy. Second, whatever you do in research, because people in my generation and elder generation, the faculty's mool mantra was to publish. But now, slowly realization is being made that IP could be encashed in different ways. A new generation is being told about it. Even some offices, some institutions have got a special IP office. Anything going out of the institution, the IP office will decide if you go in the form of a paper, patent, copyright, IP, what kind of IP they would like. So this is something very important, and what we are looking for is how we could develop meaningful products which would serve to the society. And for that purpose, government is now stressing, like you might have heard Prime Minister saying one district, one product. So what we are trying that each district should develop a niche area for itself. So if Berhampur is good in spices, Berhampur is good in textile, why not to focus more on that? Or it could be something else. You identify your own niche area, and if we could connect academia, MSME, startups, industries, government, funders, all together, so that that area could further get notched. Similarly, we are looking for how science could be more relevant to the society. And if we could connect them in a thread, how it could be taken place. Next question is diversity and inclusion. Of course, several times you might have heard about gender diversity. In fact, even in this room, I could see only one female. So, we are talking about a lot of corrective programs, how we could address it. But then diversity comes in different ways. For example, in our country, somehow science, technology, engineering, medicine, they have become prisoner of English. Whereas in several parts of the country, school level education is in local language. So there is lot of transition, lot of talent is hidden. They don't go forward because they don't speak English or they don't understand. So we are trying to correct that. Similarly, if you see urban-rural divide, most of higher education institutions are in urban area. Rural area are missing. People who find difficult to travel, especially the girls whose parents don't allow them to travel outside, they are suffering. So we are trying to address all those issues under our diversity. Now, as far as scientific priority of our countries are concerned, they are day-to-day problems faced by all of us. So we know we are growing population. Urbanization and industrialization are killing agricultural land and agricultural workforce. The number of mouths to be fed are increasing. Number of agricultural workforce and area of agricultural workforce is decreasing. We need to have lot of technology intervention to keep the food security. Okay. Similarly, you see the water security, energy security. So these are all our day-to-day challenges, which are also our scientific challenges. Now coming to our delivery partners. So one of them is Science and Engineering Research Board. I hope everybody here must have heard about it. This is an agency which provides a lot of fellowships, a lot of project grants. People are familiar with. The other one is Technology Development Board, which is primarily providing support to industry to pick up something what is proven at lab scale. So for its upscaling, for its large scale commercialization, we are providing support to the Technology Development Board to industry. Then we have got National Entrepreneurship Board, which is in between. And this is something what we are promoting, lot of incubation, entrepreneurship skills, those kinds. And then, I'm sorry, this is an old presentation, but Then recently, you might have heard, the government has passed a new bill creating National Research Foundation. Now, NRF, when it comes into existence, which we are hoping in next couple of months it should, we are hoping first meeting of the NRF governing board sometime within this month, and NRF will subsume SER. There is a structural difference. SERB is 100% funded by government. NRF would be funded by government to the tune of 28%. And it is supposed to attract 72% funding from outside. From outside means from angel funders, from industries, from philanthropy, wherever it is possible. So we need to attract. So this is all about DST in a nutshell. And now I will discuss about various opportunities for individuals. Opportunities mentioned in black are are opportunity within country. Opportunities mentioned in green are opportunities overseas, and then there are projects which we could consider. So this is something very common. I think everyone knows JRF, SRF, RA. DST does not conduct any exam, but we bank upon any national level exam. It could be NET, it could be GATE, it could be examination conducted by atomic energy, biotechnology, anything. Any examination conducted at national level with centers across the country giving equal opportunity to students could be considered as national exam. And we are not giving these fellowships directly. These fellowships are part of DST supported projects. So if in the project there is a component of human resources, then one of these could be there. Then we have got Prime Minister Fellowship. Now, there are n number of Prime Minister Fellowships. Like one PM Fellowship for IIT is different than for other institutes. What DST has got is for industry. So if a researcher is working on a problem which is more industry relevant, then one could get this fellowship. And what we have done, we have tied up with the industry association, CII, and we collect ideas from students, what kind of work they are doing, and CII circulates those ideas to the members, and nearly 100 ideas are picked each year. And in that case, researchers get double fellowship. So suppose fellow is JRF, he gets one part from government, which is natural, and similar amount from industry. If SRF, double SRF, if RA, double RA. So it's just doubling up. So that way, this fellowship is quite popular. Now for those of you who have just completed PhD and are unemployed, we are providing national postdoctoral. Now remember one thing, this is not a job. This is only a stopgap arrangement to develop you as an independent researcher. So till the time you get a job, you can avail this. And once you get job, then your fellowship amount is reduced, but other components like consumables and contingency grants, they are with you. It comes with a condition. Condition is you cannot avail it at a place from where you have done your PhD. Idea is you have learned enough from a school of thought. It is time to widen your horizon, go to another school of thought where you will learn something more. We are also providing startup grants to the students, and these grants are available even to the young students, undergraduates. And this is something what we call power of idea. Nidhi stands for National Initiative for Development and Harnessing of Innovation. And idea is, if any student feels that one has got market ready idea and needs some seed funding to start with, we could provide such. For those of you who have a flair of expression and who could convey what kind of science is being done in the market, so we are inviting PhD students, postdoctoral students to write about their own research in common manner. And they can write in newspaper, blog, social media, anywhere they feel comfortable. And department gives them a grant. This is one way of promoting science popularization, how you are taking science. And this is very important actually, because once you can tell public what kind of work you are doing, you understand what people are expecting from you. But people, the moment you post it anywhere, people will comment. And their comment will further enrich you. And you should think always that research you are doing, how it is going to make a difference. This program is not for this audience, but we have a program for faculty working in various private colleges, small colleges. Idea is that they have lot of research questions but do not have research infrastructure. So to take them to central institutions, we have got this scheme. Then we have got something what is, no sir, actually, this audience problem is, this is a central government institution, so they are not eligible. Others can come, yes, you can receive others, yeah. So you might have friends, colleagues working in smaller institutions to whom you could invite for a limited period, like maximum 90 days in a year, and they could carry out work in association with you. Then Sword Jayanti Fellow, we started when we were celebrating 50th year of India, and we wanted to give extra push to researchers who are quite active in their own field. And this has carried the name. Of course, recently there were a lot of debate if we should change the name and make it Hirak Jayanti instead of Sword Jayanti. But it is carrying its brand value, and people still would like to retain Sword Jayanti Fellowship. And idea is, if you are a good worker in a particular field, you could go, and primarily we are targeting young researchers who are in 10 years of their PhD. We are also giving fellowship by invitation. So Ramanujam Fellowship, I think senior faculty and directors take care, is for those postdocs who are currently abroad and would like to return. And this is again not a job, it's a position for 5 years, but they need not to search a job. And I always feel that 5-year interview is much better than half an hour interview. So if they could prove themselves to the organization they are working, they could be absorbed also. So Ramanujam Fellowship is immediate placement when you come back from. J.C. Bose National Fellowship is one of the prestigious fellowships which we are giving to active researchers. And what I have mentioned here, 25,000 bucks, these are in addition to the normal salary given by the parent institution. And this is by invitation. And then another scheme which we have got is called Sub-Star. So if you have done some SERB project which has been rated excellent, you could be invited for Sub-Star. Then we have got a program. We are introducing our youngsters to the Nobel laureate. So this program happened in a cyclic order: 1 year physics, 1 year chemistry, 1 year biology and medicine. And we are inviting application through newspaper. And program is open for master students, doctoral students, and even postdocs or young faculty. So it's a typical batch of about 30 to 40 participants from India. It will have 1 or 2 faculty, 2 to 4 postdocs, about 10 to 15 PhD students, and rest masters. This program attracts participation from more than 50 countries. So you get an opportunity not only to meet Nobel laureates, but also peers from those countries. And program is normally divided into 2 parts. In first week, Nobel laureates give talks, and you listen and react, respond. In second week, role reversal. So each Nobel laureate is allotted a group of countries, and they have half-day session, and then of course, so each half-day, so 14 Nobel laureate you can interact, and you can ask any kind of question, okay, which they would be done. And like Lindau program, we also have a program called Asian Science. And here, we are not inviting proposals, but we are picking from KVPY and Inspire Fellows. And idea is something like Lindau does, but Asia doesn't have so many Nobel laureates, but still we attract best of the Asian science luminaries, introduce them to the students. And this program happens in a different Asian city each year. And India hosted it just before COVID at Bangalore in 2019. This year it will be held in Korea. And then we have got number of bilateral programs where students could be included in the project and given exposure to an overseas laboratory. We also received requests, a number of requests for presentation in research papers in international conference or attending a summer school, winter school, those kind of things. So department supports through us. But not only we support, there are a number of other agencies also support. Condition is it is once in 3 years. From SERB, we have made 2 cuts. One cut is for anybody less than 35. Here we are providing fare, which includes travel, visa cost, medical insurance, and registration. And we presume registration will take care of your accommodation and participation. For anybody above 35, we are only providing travel. Now, what we are looking for is, if this request is coming from a student, then we are looking at least 1 prior paper in a refereed journal. That is preferred. I am not saying it is absolutely required, but it is preferred. If it is faculty, then we are looking at last 5 years. How faculty is doing last 5 years. Now, why I am saying it is preferred? Because for each conference we receive a large number of applications. And we need to ensure that there are good participation from India. So we do not know what you are going to speak here, but at least if you have 1 published paper, you know how your research is required to be done. That kind of confidence we have. So maybe for some seminar, some conference, there are no application where there is prior publication. In that case, we will support 1 or 2 candidates. There are a number of outgoing fellowships for Indian researchers. I am not sure how many of you are aware about it, but we have fellowship for France, Korea, Japan, Australia, UK. Lindau meeting I have covered. Hope meeting is at undergraduate level, at the Asian level. And then we are providing SIRE, which is a mid-career fellowship for the faculty. Then there are some new fellowships provided by our centers. So doctoral student can go for industrial exposure to Germany. Women researchers could go for a participation in a project. We have nano fellowship, and we have also introduced a new concept called paired fellowship. Now normally pairing is done by the faculty, but here we are asking students if they could train themselves with a researcher from Germany, they could go ahead. Other opportunity which we are providing, one of them is BRICS Young Scientists. So each year we are inviting applications for participation in this BRICS meeting. Themes are different each year, and we would be notifying that. Frontier of Science is a very, I should say, unusual thing, where we are asking scientists from different disciplines to come together and discuss on interdisciplinary aspects. The second condition is that there is no senior. Upper age limit is 40. So we are looking for young achievers in their respective domain who could come and discuss on interdisciplinary aspects. And similarly, we are doing Frontier of Engineering. And I'm sorry, these three I have also covered in other previous slides. And not only we are providing fellowships, there are a number of other prestigious fellowships which are available for our research. So Humboldt, Fulbright is from United States, Humboldt is from Germany, Newton is from UK, Erasmus and Marie Curie are from EU. In addition to them, several embassies would provide opportunities for postdocs in their country. So they will notify you. And then there are other departments like UGC, Education, Biotechnology, Earth Sciences, ICMR, ICR, who are also having similar schemes where you could consider participation. So Frontier of Science is an interdisciplinary meeting. We have started with PhD placement program. And this program we started with our INSPIRE Fellow, but now INSPIRE Fellow could go to UK and Japan. And we have also started openly, anybody could go. Now SERB has done arrangement with some university in US. And I would also urge you, sir, that if you could help us in getting some more arrangements. Idea is, because normally when we are placing PhD students for 6 months, several universities would charge academic fee or bench fee. So we are looking for if that compensation could be taken care of by the university as a part of the arrangement. So SERB has already identified some university in US which are ready to do it, and there we can send our students. Normally we are picking third year students. The idea is by this time a student is fully aware what is the research topic, what is the approach road, and is still far away from submission. And what we are looking at, this exposure should not divert him for something new, but should supplement whatever efforts are being done. And this is a mid-career exposure for the faculty. So they could go for 6 months in a laboratory of their choice and work upon it. So we are providing travel support and some research grants. Now, this is something regular project and specifically for the young audience. If you are within first 5 years of your employment, this is something you could apply. And then we have core research grant for those who are more than 5 years old. So both the programs, startup research grant and core research grant, they are essentially similar in nature, except there is an age restriction or academic age restriction for startup, and decisions are rather quick. But in core research grant, There is no restriction. It is all open, and even youngsters, they could also apply for tourism. But question is, what do we see in the project when you are applying? So first thing is, what are you proposing? Where is the scientific novelty? What kind of value addition you are doing or you are proposing to do in your research? That is something very important. If our referee feels that project objective does not convey what new thing or what scientific novelty you are bringing in, I am afraid they may not read in your project. So this is something very important, and you must establish where is the knowledge gap, where you will be working, what would be your concern. Second thing is approach route. Approach route, we don't want you to fully explain it, but just take confidence of the referee that approach route is logical and doable. So that is what we are looking for. And third thing is competency. Now, when your proposal is being read by our referee, you are not there. So only your biodata tells us how competent worker you are. So two things we can make out from your biodata. One is quality of your previous work, which help us to know what kind of researchers you are. If you are publishing more in refereed index journals, it could have low impact, high impact, but we know that you are keen to publish there. That is one quality. Second quality is you are presenting lot of your research in conferences, okay, or in unindexed journals. So researcher, our referee would try to make an assessment. What is your level of research? Second thing, what they make out is, what is the skill set you have learned? And that titles of the paper tells us that what kind of work you have done in past, what kind of skill set you have been. So this is something very important, and based on that, referee has to take a decision whether you are a right candidate to do the work you have proposed. And your biodata becomes very important. My suggestion is, in case you feel you alone are not a person who could defend that project, or your biodata is weak, or you do not have good publication, it is always good to go for collaboration with the established work, because then you would be looking for combined. What is good in you, what is good in other fellow, and how together you can do it. Other things are relatively less important, like where are you working, what kind of infrastructure you have got, can you do it. And also we have a stress that we need to support lot of those institutions where research is still not in high demand. We are looking for what kind of work you are doing, and in case you are going for collaborative projects, this becomes very important, how you are going to share the idea. So if you have partner from same institution, that question may not be very high or could be resolved within your own institution. But if you are collaborating with a worker outside your institution, this is something you need to be careful of. And then the last thing is what kind of financial support you have asked. It's not a decision making, but then we need to, our referees keep a watch that are you realistic or not. So that is something you need to be very optimal. Demand something what you really need. And then we always encourage, if some youngsters are given training in your project. So besides these two core things, we are also doing programs for the society, we are attracting young scientists, if they are doing something good for the society, any project they could feel appropriate. For women researchers, especially for those who have got a career break minimum of 3 years, we have got a program called Kiran, and here we are doing it in 3 ways, like program for basic sciences, program for society, and program for making yourself a professional. So as an institution, you could think, if you would like to conduct women's week, some courses where women researcher could be a professional, but other two are individual. Now for those ladies who get elected to one of the national academies, we have given Women Excellence. And idea is, you get elected, you get a definitive research grant to carry out further research. For ladies who do not have career break, but we would like to have more women PI rather than project participants. We have come up with another program called Sir Power Grant and also Sir Power Fellowship. So this idea is that let women come up as an independent researcher and trying to address our gender equality issue. So very little difference. Sir Power Grant is for regular faculty who are placed, and there are 2 levels, one is 30 lakh, one is 60 lakh for 3 years, and one could apply. Fellowship is for those who may be even without job, and they could apply for these things. In case they are employed, then they get 15,000 rupees more. For faculty who is working on high TRL level and who feel that their lab product could be easily converted into market ready product, we are coming up with this grant called TETRA, Technology Transfer Award, and idea is that we could take it forward. For those who have completed their normal tenure and are still keen to work for science, we have got National Science Chair. Only 2 parameters, excellence or leadership. These are the 2 prime parameters. And what we are looking for is, these fellows should not hold any administrative responsibility in their institution. We are also working on socio-economic development. So if you are developing tools for disabled, elderly, or people living in difficult conditions, we could consider a grant. And then each year we change. We have a very specific grant which we call IRFA High Priority. So each year we shall define what is the priority, research priority for this year. For example, when it was COVID, we had COVID as a theme. But it keeps revolving. Each year it's a different theme which we are advertising, and we are looking for research in those. So I think whatever I said so far, okay. And one is out of box. So if you are planning to bring any disruptive technology, we have got a grant called Sutra, and here it should be across discipline, something disruptive, and we accept you with your results, whatever it is. And then we are attracting best of the global faculty to come and be adjunct faculty in our institution. So this is a scheme, Vajra, and we are offering business class fare plus $10,000, and we are expecting this faculty to be here for a minimum of 1 month to 3 months each year, and this is a 5-year contract. This faculty would start a new course, this faculty could take a student, be adjunct faculty here, and when the faculty goes to the parent institution, the students could also travel to that part if required. And we have very recently introduced another scheme called Vaibhav. Vaibhav is This is open, but Vaibhav is restricted to scientists of Indian diaspora. So if you get a scientist who is willing to work here, minimum 1 month, maximum 3 months, each year, they could avail either Vajra or Vaibhav. Now, so far whatever I have mentioned was open in all sciences, but this is something what we are saying targeted research. These are the areas where government would like our researchers to work, and there are very long list: climate, carbon sequestration, renewable energy, water, interdisciplinary cyber physical system, supercomputing, nanoscience, indigenous development of equipment, multidisciplinary research in traditional and advanced areas, drug and pharma drugs, cognitive science, spatial data infrastructure, Ayurvedic biology. So these are the domains within which DST is accepting proposals in mission mode. And of course, recently, of course, I'll come a little later, the new area which we have added. Science communication, as I said, is another important aspect, and we are looking lot of support from our researchers. You know, unfortunately, our newspaper, our television, radio does not talk a lot about science because our journalists are not keen in those subjects. So it is for some of us who are interested if we could explain people what kind of science we are doing. We are also supporting industry relevant research. So in case some industry is willing to support you, we can provide, yeah. No, you need to respond to the call whenever it comes. So each call comes once in a year. So here we can provide up to 50% of the project cost restricted to 50 lakhs. And then I will talk about my area. So I come from international cooperation, and we have got our arrangement with number of countries around the world, and we invite proposal accordingly. So besides bilateral, we also have number of multilateral engagement. Now, if you see these arrangements, these are essentially political, but we have structured science cooperation on them. So very good opportunity to interact with them. My suggestion to you is, when we invite proposal, we will open call for couple of months, and that is not a good time to develop a brand project. So my suggestion is that you may explore potential partners from any part of the world. You may check with us what kind of program we offer with that country, and when is our next call likely to come. And that will allow you that much gestation time to develop the project. So make a concrete proposal rather than a proposal in haste. You should know what you are doing, what your partner is doing, and why that collaboration is important or needed. And there should be a win-win situation for both the parties. Normally, by my experience, I will recommend you not to look for a partner who is your mirror image in terms of your subject specialty. Partners should come from slightly different or absolutely different backgrounds, so that when two of you are collaborating, both of you would get new horizons. Besides this, at institutional level, we are providing infrastructure support. This is the program which we are giving at department level. So as a department, you need to submit the proposal. And these proposals, of course, we have got several layers, level 0, level 1, level 2. And our support could go up to 20 crores. And then we have got programs like FIRST, which are operating only on H-index. So you can see collectively where do you stand. We are also supporting setting up of innovation and entrepreneurship centers in all academic organizations. Idea is each institution should have incubation facility where students would try out their ideas, be there for some time, take their idea forward. We are also offering fellowship for researchers who come from other countries to work in India. And this, as a faculty, you should be very delighted. Because what happens, the people come from different parts of the world, where probably you may not be interested to go. But when they come with their problems. So you have a tacit experience of their challenges, which you are trying to solve through your experience, through your facilities like this. So CV Raman Fellowship we are offering at master, doctoral, postdoctoral and faculty level to researchers coming from Africa. We get each year about 1200 applications and we are supporting about 400 from them. India S&T Fellowship we are offering to all our neighbors except two neighbors, one in northwest, one in northeast. So we are offering, and again idea is that we could attract doctoral researchers from those countries to come and work. ASEAN Fellowship we are offering to researchers coming from ASEAN region. Now here I must say, when we are doing project with ASEAN region, here, this is something different from other projects. In ASEAN project, total cost is borne by Government of India. Whereas in all other programs, we are expecting that remaining costs in their domain, in their respective countries are borne by respective funding agencies. But in ASEAN, everything is borne by DST. And then we are also providing full-time PhD support for African research. Of course, these numbers are very limited, only 5 per year we are providing. But ASEAN Fellowship we are providing about 50, India S&T Fellowship about 50 and CV Raman about 400. We are also providing support for organization of seminar symposia. Of course, this support is not total. We are taking 1 or 2 heads and it's a notional support which we are giving. We are also doing international seminar exhibition. Here idea is that if a partner country comes, they proposes it, we can organize. Here total cost is taken care of by DST. As a part of technology diplomacy, and this is, Dada, you can think in terms of development of your institution. Now NEP also demands that. We are engaging with least developing country and less developing or developing. And for them we are doing infrastructure development. So we are picking up countries in those, we are picking up institutions in those countries where we could help them in infrastructure development, organize summer or winter school training development of faculty. So I think this is the last part of my talk where I am telling you about the future investment from DST. So one is cyber physical systems. So it includes entire gamut of artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data, internet of things. And idea is we have identified 25 technology innovation hubs. We have created them. And these hubs would study end to end. They will understand what is the demand, what are the questions, solve them, give it back to industry. So for that purpose, we are hoping that they will use the route of incubation, research park, startup, and finally transferring it. We are also working on electric mobility, and here idea is battery is the major concern, electric motors, power electronics, fast charging. Recently, DST has also added one more task, that is standardization of battery. Now what is happening today, each manufacturer is coming with his own battery design. So in long run, it's not helpful. We would like it something like a cooking gas cylinder. So once your battery is drained out, you plug out and plug in a new battery. So we are going for battery standardized. So DST has already undertaken this task, and very soon, at least in the new vehicles that will come, they have to have standard battery. Government has announced quantum mission, and lot of requirement, a lot of research would be coming in communication, computing, and materials. And what we are looking for is, again, we will go for model like we did in cyber physical system. We will create some hubs, and these hubs will further develop. And we are working on methanol, hydrogen, cleaner fuels. Lot of exercise is being done. And this is our internal program which we will give to Survey of India for developing high resolution maps of India. We are also talking about scientific social responsibility, how you can take your science to the masses. And for that, we are discussing with the infrastructure group, mentoring, public research cultures, outreach, those kind of things we are talking about. Two programs which we are going to multiply manifold. One is incubation program. We are very interested that all institutions should have incubation facilities. And second is, which I did not tell you in the beginning because it is for the school children, Manak. So this is basically power of idea which we get from the students. And science popularization, we have taken a lot of initiative. We are now having a 24-hour OTT channel. We started with DD Science, but now we have an independent OTT channel, 24-hour science channel. After I told you about, we have also created a portal where you could publish even the smallest success story. So we are giving you that freedom. And also we have started translating Wikipedia science pages in Indian language. So what we are doing is that we have identified nearly 50 lakh articles, and we will first go for machine translation. That would be read by experts in those domains, who will rewrite it along with Indian examples, set up Indian content so that people could understand, and it will come in our language. So we are starting with 5 Indian languages, and very soon lot of articles would be there. So with this, I would like to close, and I would be happy to take any questions from you.
Okay, so we go with Vyas first.
I have one question on Nidhi Prayas. So this application should go through the institute's incubation centers, but let's say an institution doesn't have an incubation center. So what do we do?
So create a Section 8 company, and actually academic institutions have been given a lot of freedom, and idea is that when you create a Section 8 company, you are independent of institutional accounting, and you know how this independent entity is doing. So that is the idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I think even the whole purpose is to call even the new institutions to start the culture of facilitating incubation. Vivek and then Adi.
Thank you, sir. It was really informative. So, considering the first kind of grant, we did apply in the past, almost 6-7 faculties together. We wrote a 10 crore kind of grant. But apparently, my doubt is these are the institutional level grant kind of thing. So we have, let's say, our Dean R&D as the major PI presenting that collaborative work. Yeah, so we had 8, I guess, but it didn't go through. Does the main PI's like an expertise is also considered into that? Because since institute is offering, but the dean may be from a different background, but the faculties are like, let's say they are collaborating and putting up a simple column.
Actually, we are looking for a cohesive thread. How faculty is going to utilize the facility which you are going to have. And if we don't see that cohesiveness, each faculty is going in different directions. One is looking for X, one is looking for Y. So you need to develop a departmental proposal, what you would like to do together, and then it will be successful. So this is something you should be careful in the future application.
First of all, I would like to thank you for bringing us lots of bit hidden fellowships and the possibilities for an institute like IISER, Young Institute, and also a lot of young faculty colleagues. So with that, I'm a bit interested to know about actually how many number of this MPDF fellowships does
400
DST offers?
400 in it.
400 in a year, yeah. The second one, for example, let's say young faculty like me who wants to offer a summer school or winter school for 3-4 days for various research scholars
I think
around the
summer
country.
school for 3-4 days is not welcome. At least 2 weeks.
Sure, yeah, 2 days, let's say. Are there any 2 weeks?
Yeah.
That is further good actually. So that we have a real
What we are
scientific discussion.
Summer school when you organize, it's not only you who are responsible, but you invite best faculty within country
Yeah.
to take care of that particular subject.
Sure. So there are such programs are there, right?
Yeah.
DST can fund us.
DST can fund summer school.
Yeah. Thank you. I will contact you for that. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Hello? Yes. So, questions on the renewable energy and the methanol, this process. So we are in the new institute. So we do not have link up with the industry and all those people, right? So what is our plan from the institute? Suppose we are doing something in the lab, then how we can reach to the industry level approach and we can set up this incubator or, yeah.
2 things, dream and passion, which you must have to take it forward. You should know who are the workers in that field from academia, from industry, what are the challenges or the questions they are working upon, and if you could identify a new question for yourself, give it to industry. You need to present your idea to the concerned subject forum, where industry is there, where academia is there, and when you discuss, you will find out what are the gaps, where you could make inroads, and that should take you further, deep down. In fact, we have recently announced a call in Hydrogen Valley. So you see if you feel you are appropriate candidate, please go ahead.
Sorry, I'll go back to that first question. So in the FIST grant, so if as a department we put together something, you said minimum 6 faculties are supposed to collaborate. So does any one of them become the senior PI in that, or the dean of R&D becomes by default? Oh, okay.
No, there is no conflict. You have to. So you need to develop synergies.
Hello, sir. I have actually 3 small questions. They are related.
One by one.
Yeah, one by one, yeah. So, my first question is like, suppose I'm availing one grant from DST, or I'm already availing a fund from DST. So how it is going to impact my, next application? Suppose I'm applying for another grant, which is independent of my running project. So will it impact my,
See, normally whenever we are giving grant, I think this I did not mention in my parameters when we are assessing. So referees also see what are the previous grants you are availing or you have availed. And what is your performance, what you have achieved out of that previous grant. So it is always good to demonstrate one completed grant before applying for second. But if you feel second one has come at a time, you are convinced that you are the right candidate, please go ahead. I am not saying you are stopped, but then there must be some visible sign of the first grant out.
And other thing is on similar lines for the many fellows, like Ramanujan or Ramalinga Swami fellows. One side government is trying to, tell that they are equal to the other faculties or regular faculties.
No.
And
Please don't carry that impression. In our system, regular faculty is different than contractual faculty, than the fellowship holder.
okay.
So we are only providing you a placement through those fellowships. We are not providing you rights like other faculty.
Okay, yeah. The same thing is like even you are not, supporting them to apply for, say, startup research grant.
No, they are eligible.
So,
Ramalinga Swami, Inspire Fellowship, Ramanujan Fellowship are eligible to apply for any competitive research grant. Let him complete.
sir, just last question, one more. So, regarding this Swarna Jayanti Fellowship, is it still continued? Because I came to know that it was discontinued.
No, it is there.
Okay, thank you so much.
I beg your pardon?
Is it call for Swarna Jayanti?
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, sir, for the information. Sir, one comment from last question. So fellows, as you said, Ramalinga Swami, Inspire Fellows or Ramanujan, they are not eligible for this SRG grant. They are not eligible for SRG. You said they are eligible.
They are not eligible for CRG.
They are eligible for CRG, but not for SRG. That's very illogical.
I'll check that again.
Yeah.
But other fellowships, other grants, they are eligible.
Right. So, but sir, again, there is again this regular norms are always there. If you are regular faculty, only then you can apply it.
No, but number of them are open for everyone.
Like Supra scheme is very nice.
Yeah.
But it is again having this clause. If you are regular, only you can apply.
We will check. On some schemes, there is a definitive bar that regular faculty only can apply. But other fellowships, they are open.
So SRG would be really nice for initial
I'll
beginner. That would be really great. Sir, one more comment for like Ramanujan scheme. It's very nice scheme, but this research grant is very less with current inflation rate and hiring a JRF. Actually, 1 year it is reaching close to 6 lakhs per annum, and research grant is 7 lakh. So only fellowship is being covered.
I think you can send a rejoinder to the director.
Mm-hmm.
Let computing corporation, because we ourselves are going through a lot of changes.
Yeah.
In fact, in recent past, only last year we increased the fellowship.
Yeah.
And that cycle is not complete. So we have done it for the core fellows, but those like NPDF has not increased.
Yes.
Okay, so we are under that pressure right now. Let us complete that cycle, and I think its subsequent implications like research grant, we will take care.
Correct. Yeah. Okay. Thanks a lot.
So I have quite a few comments and questions actually. I have received both this matrix grant, and presently I am having this National Quantum Missions. Actually, precursor of me Quantum Mission Quest project was there, so I am still availing that. So what I belong to mathematics and quantum information, so I am kind of an interdisciplinary person. So one thing I have noticed about, it's a suggestion or comment, whatever way you want to take it. So those in mathematics who are getting the NPDF fellowship, most often they are giving the just the PhD whatever they have done, and the problem we want to go slightly more on that kind of thing. So it is becoming like after 5, even 3, 4 or 5 years, they are practically working on a single problem and trying to publish things more. So I don't know how to address it, but then there are some places like Scandinavian countries where there is a rule that things has to be slightly diversified, even if in their own domain itself. So I'm just trying to say that maybe you can think of implementing something like that.
No, actually, the basic philosophy of NPDA is that you should be doing something beyond your PhD. It should not be the natural extension of your PhD, but you should answer some new question using the skill set you have learned during your PhD. So that is the basic philosophy. Now, of course, DST bank a lot on the referees, and we try to ensure that there is no conflict of interest, but still there could be some cases where you could find a fellow who is what fellow has worked in PhD, same thing, one country.
Quite a few.
In the postdoctoral, but that is something very rare. And
I mean, I try to see it in math
I don't
side.
want to blame referees because they may not be, maybe situation, but idea is fellow should only use the skill set, but answer a new question.
That's good actually. So some second one that, see, I was trying to read the initial documents what came from this National Research Foundation thing. Now, if a large part of the work, the funding is coming from industry or philanthropy and this kind of things. I also belong to the maths department, and we do quite a bit of pure research. Most often what it's seen is that there is no direct, immediate monetary outcome of this research. You may see it after 10 years, you may see it after 50 years. So what will happen for us?
No, I'll give you an anecdote which I share with a lot of students. When Aryabhatta discovered zero, it was basic science, and it only helped calculation, multiplication, divisions easily. Aryabhatta never thought zero could be applied. But today we are living in digital world where nothing is possible without binary.
Precisely, that is my point.
So application may come after 40 years, 100 years, who knows. Main thing is basic science. And we know that basic science must continue. If we only work on applied science, then we will very soon be outdated. So basic science is essential, and as a department, DST will continue to support basic science.
That is reassuring actually. And the last thing is somewhat more personal. So we have this Quest project from which I have been funded heavily from there. But it happened that around 4 years ago we got just the first installment of that, and then after 3 years when the project is supposed to be over, we got one more year extension. But we didn't get any money or any installment after the very first. So this is...
Unfortunately, in last few years, there have been lot of structural changes in the process of digitalization. I don't know what went between you and the concerned officer. No, but not everybody, because no, that could be a problem with the individual officer, but that's something. Because as such, if you see DST balance sheet, we have been able to utilize our budget fully. So our money has gone somewhere. So what I am trying to say, there have been lot of changes. We started with PFMS, then we started with zero balance account, we started with return of interest. Each year finance ministry comes with new set of guidelines, and which you need to cope up immediately. In case you get delayed, then probably such situation may come. But still, if you haven't got it for that long a period, that is really serious. And who is the concerned officer? They will be ready. No, you see from whom you are getting communication. No, that is fine. So you, yeah. Mangesh is from SERB, not DST. So what I would suggest is, so I think both are from SERB. What you could do is, you write as a team to Secretary SERB, explain the situation, that why your project is not funded for so long, and I am sure he will find some answer. No, I understand. This is really challenging because 3 years is a pretty long period. Yeah. So you said first year you got grant, then 3 years. Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah.
Grant office, please?
No. Oh, no, but
No, that is your
grant
your
officer.
institutional office or no?
Oh,
No, I think
what
that is
we
an
got.
administrative question because that you should ask your director. No. Please don't consider
No.
your problem as national problem. First thing, I must say this because there are number of institutions who have got grant managers who they call it differently. They call it Dean R&D office, IRD, Dean Research. Okay, and several offices, several institutions have got IP cells.
IPR.
Okay, so they
And
need
the
to
project
protect
management office.
project management. So there are
EMS.
different names. How do they handle it? But each institution should have. Okay, and if it is not there, please ask your director.
Okay, so I have two questions.
Please.
Number one is this focus on one district, one product. So for instance, Ganjam district where we are is a producer of 85% of Kevda. And from our initial queries, it appears that there is lots to be done in terms of propagation of Kevda, different ways of reproduction cycles or developing a produce. So how we as an institution, together with some other collaborators, should target these kind of programs through DST?
No, you see, you can come to our incubation group. You can see how you can promote new incubators, how you can create a market because they may be good, but their market may be limited. So how to expand that market? How to develop new products? So the basic basic ingredient may remain the same, but developing new products. And if there is a lot of technology inflow in that, that would be really nice.
And then my second question is based on my experience that often one thing that the science managers come across and hurdle, that individual PIs get used to a particular funding agency. कि मेरा पहला प्रोजेक्ट डीबीटी से आया तो जिंदगी भर में डीबीटी को ही लिखूंगा, डीएसटी को ट्राई ही नहीं करूंगा, और अगर एक बार सर्व से आया तो सर्व में ही लटका रहूंगा. So how do we get rid of this phobiasm of one program or one funding agency, because every funding agency has a different mandate and different motives of why they support.
Actually, let me say this is a problem of about another 5 years. After 5 years, what we are envisaging, we have already started this experiment in international collaboration at least. There would be only one application. And you would be given option, it should be first considered by agency 1, second option by agency Y or Z. So, right now what is happening, you are submitting one proposal to DST, roughly 80% of that to second agency and roughly 80% of that to third agency. And 3 agencies are not talking to each other. But now what we are looking for is, there should be only one submission portal, something like bank. You have a ATM card, go to any bank and draw your money, whatever limits are there. Okay. So, what we are proposing, there should be one funding portal. You can submit your application and you can indicate in what order it should be considered by which agency. Okay. So, that is going to happen. Now, I will tell you, in SERB also we have done some experiments. Like if somebody submitted for CRD and proposal was not successful in CRD, you might have received, some of you might have received letters, can we consider your application under such and such? If we feel it is good for another scheme, we could consider it. So we are trying it in a limited way, but maybe in another 5 years, it would be only one
Single
portal,
window.
all research grants to be submitted to that.
Okay, so thank you very much. Sanjeev, thanks a lot for insightful journey in a researcher's life where money comes first. Without money, nothing happens. Having said that, I think we also need to bank on our ideas first and money later. But thank you very much to travel all the way from Delhi to Berhampur. And hope we have treated you well.
Oh yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you guys. Bye.